Okay, so I've got a new tank. This is a 30-gallon JBJ rimless, which is a saltwater design. My husband didn't realize that this was a saltwater, neither, well, I knew this was a tank for saltwater, but I figured, well, I can make it work, right? Well, there's some interesting issues that have come up with it. Mainly there's a tremendous amount of flow in this thing. I think it makes a great little reef setup. The pumps are in the back. I'll turn on some more light here. Maybe you can see it's got a compartment in the back here where it's like a little sump. I've put a piece of glass to mitigate some of the evaporation. But there's a sump back there, which is awesome, and the intake is at the top. Sorry about all the bubbles. I did a water change just now because, well, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But so you can just put your heater back there and whatever you want to put back there. It's great. Just chuck it in the back, out of sight, and no equipment, and I love it. But the flow is quite robust, a little bit too robust for freshwater fish, if you ask me. And I like a lot of flow, and this is too much. There are 2 pumps, and I have 1 running right now. And I actually got some perforated plastic from the craft store for yarn projects and zip tied them to the intake slots all the way in the back there. There's 1 on each side. Because little fish could just get, well, I'd had some little fish in there, some danios, and they did get just sucked right in. They didn't get injured because it's just a passive flow. They just got sucked into the back. They just flowed right through those holes and were hanging around in the sump. So anyway, I think that's doable. But it's a neat little tank, and I was just cycling it. I seeded it for these angels, which I had in a smaller tank at work. And then I put these emperor tetras in here to help with the cycle, but I really wasn't planning on putting the angels in quite yet. But we're expecting a big weather event, a big blizzard, snowstorm, ice storm. Power's expecting to go out tomorrow. So I did not want the angels to be at work with no power. So today I went over there and got them out and got all this stuff out of their tank and just chucked everything in here. So there's a lot of stuff in here. I just put everything in here for the time being, and there's a lot of debris and stuff, so I did a water change, and that's why there's all these bubbles. But we'll see how that goes. I think there's plenty of seed material. I put the AC, the aqua clear filter sponges in the back there in the sump, and it's all the decor and the plants and stuff from the tank at work, so I think there's plenty. I don't see a problem with a cycle at all. I think it'll be fine, and we'll get it straight. But also, the other thing is the glass tops that come with these things are really not meant to support any kind of weight. The plastic clips just hold the glass, and I do not recommend putting a fixture like this on them at all. I don't. I'm looking into getting a LED fixture that straddles the tank and has legs that rest on the rim of the tank, or a clip-on perhaps that will work. I've got these waterproof LED fixtures that I got on Amazon. They are waterproof, and they're fine. I need a little more than that, but it's just not ideal for a planted setup. It's fine, but I don't really like having anything on this glass. They tip. They're not sturdy and they're not meant to support any kind of weight, so I'm not comfortable having a fixture rest on top of there. So just a few things that I have to do a little differently with this setup, but it's a nice tank. It's really sleek looking, rimless, no seams, curved glass, very nice. I was really pleased to get it as a Christmas present. So we'll see how this goes. We'll work with it, and then maybe, I think a saltwater setup is really a better idea for this tank. Of course, it's what it was designed for, and I think that's the best application with the skimmer style intake and everything. I think that might be what I will do with it ultimately. But for now, we've got a situation with the weather, so it's a great place for me to park some fish temporarily anyway, until I decide what to do. So we'll see what happens.